taking on Sudden Fear, and Sudden Fear are going to have to pull out a massive blue turtle shell here because this is an undefeated Chiefs lineup once again at this part of the split.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're going to have to pull the 4-0 yet again. Chiefs looking formidable as an opponent, but you know, there's a lot of lessons you can take out of this. The fact that Sudden Fear need to play comfort champions, need to get rolling and, you know, weather the storm. Chiefs are a very good team fighting lineup. Try and split them up, make them make bad decisions, and see if you can sneak a win against OPL's best.
Yeah, and it's going to be very, very hard for this Sudden Fear lineup. And let's have a look here at exactly how hard it is. Let's have a look at how Spooks has been playing from the jungle. This guy, Sam Broadley himself, is an absolute god. His Nunu stats especially. He hasn't died.
Yeah, so he's got a 34 KDA on Nunu. He's got an 18 KDA running around with the rest of his champion pool on the Rift. As you can see, 71.3, that's his kill participation. The exact same as Ejim, as it were, the support player that came across from Legacy for the Chiefs. He's been able to team up with Spooks very well, and the Nunu is something that has to go. He's been given it twice. He's just way too good on it right now. But as a pressure jungler, Spooks has stepped up and is, for me right now, what is helping out the Chiefs have such a good early part of the map.
Yeah, they certainly are. And it's not the same story as it was last split. We've spoken about the Chiefs and the fact that, you know, Swiffer, massive player for them. They went over to the IWCI, and it was Swiffer that was drawing all of the attention. This guy going fantastic on the likes of LeBlanc, having a brilliant performance. But now it seems like the rest of the map are really stepping up. With Ejim on the lineup, the bottom lane looking fantastic. Of course, Radier there, flashing aggressively, making the plays there from the bottom side. And look, Swiffer just generally needs to do his job there in the mid lane. It's not the same story.
Yeah, and Radier, you mentioned him. He's got something like 52 kills already at this part in the season. He's 20 above... Actually, he's got 56 because he's 22 above the next best, which is on 34. So he's playing absolutely phenomenally. The whole lineup isn't. It's taken a lot of pressure off Swiffer. So we have to see whether Sudden Fear can pull a rabbit out of the hat and come up with a win.
Well, we'll see whether they can do it from the picks and bans here, as the first ban coming through is going to be that Rise, of course, very, very strong on the 5.10 patch. They're going to remove Alistair away from Ejim, no surprises there, but the response from the Chiefs, they're going to take away Robo-Santa's Hecarim, and if Robo-Santa's been impressive, it's been on that champion.
Yeah, that's a staple ban right now against Sudden Fear. He's never going to get it. It's not a stable ban, a staple. As you see, Sivir also being taken away.
Yeah, we've seen similar bans throughout. Of course, Sivir just an incredibly powerful pick at the moment. Chiefs not going to give that to Shiny. Of course, Shiny, one of the best Sivir players in the OPL, and you know, playing for Sudden Fear, not exactly the team with the most reputable name at the moment, but Shiny's Sivir is nothing to joke about. And Sudden Fear taking a little while with their final ban.
Yeah, they do take away Echo in the end. Swiffer's been spamming it in the mid lane. I'm sure Spooks would have picked it up in the jungle as well. That tank Echo build coming through. Extremely annoying to deal with. But, you know, Sudden Fear, they're a little bit inconsistent because they are so new to the OPL. And I think that the fact that they just haven't been able to peak at the same time. We've seen games where Shiny's been playing well. Then we saw Robo-Santa had a good game. Christmas Trees has been very up and down within the same game at times even. Yep. And a Pink Bomi really hasn't hit his stride that he had last season. So we're just waiting for the penny to drop, and there couldn't be a better time than right now.
Yeah, well, the Kalista is going to be the final ban there. The Chiefs going to remove that one from the options of Sudden Fear. But I'm glad that you mentioned the fact that there's been some inconsistency because, look, the Sudden Fear lineup, if they pull it all together, they have the makings of a team that's very, very strong in the early stages of the game. We know that a Pink Bomi, brilliant on these pressure junglers in the early stages of the game. Of course, one of the staple members of the team that, you know, came over from the first split of the OPL, the Sudden Fear, you know, didn't necessarily have as much of a horrible start in. So they are going to lock away the Rek'Sai first, and I think that that's a really good start here for this team.
Yeah, once again, we talked about Bomi's pressure junglers coming through there. Nothing more pressure than Rek'Sai can repeat gank, visit lanes, try and impact the map nice and early, and try and take it to the Chiefs. So I definitely respect what they're bringing here. You mentioned the fact that they're an aggressive lineup here, and I think that that's what they really need to channel. Try and shake it up early game and get in there and affect the lanes.
Yeah, really try and make something happen. The Chiefs now hovering some interesting picks that we're not going to talk about because I have a feeling that they're not going to be locked in. And
that's a throwback to me.
Yeah, I actually quite like the old Tryndamere.
Oh, the Taric.
All right. Okay, a bit of a shout out because you played Taric and did the most damage in the game in one of the games. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that was with Spooks.
Yeah, okay,
but they are hovering Tryndamere. That, of course, is Swiper's favorite.
Let's get back on topic, Spawn.
I'm on topic.
Well, look, Swiper actually considering the Rumble here, and Spooks, no surprise, is going to go with the Gragas. You actually convincing Spooks that he's the good Lee Sin.
Yeah, so Gragas coming through here, not surprised. He is the other pressure jungler into the meta. in the top lane, Swiper picks up Rumble. It's something that they played a lot, then lost on it against Legacy, actually. Tallywacker came up with that huge Riven play in the teamfight control team that Chiefs were putting back together. Yeah. Now they're seeming to run it a little bit more. Swiper up in their top lane, happy to blind pick that. There are some counter picks out there. We'll see whether Robo wants to take something like a Riven or an Aurelia to try and shut down that matchup early in the game.
Yeah, and the Chiefs actually going to demonstrate the fact that they're very, very powerful in a teamfight scenario, able to communicate well, because there's a bit of counterintuitive play to come down with the Equalizer and, of course, the Explosive Cast.
Yeah, it certainly is. Generally, you just want to use the Equalizer to start the fight off, and then you can use the Explosive Cast reactively as the fight goes on. Much further range coming out of Swiper. Really, Spooks has to fly across the map to beat him out on that one, so they should be fine layering that CC.
Yeah, and Sudden Fear actually taking a while with their next couple of picks. It is going to be Twitch for Shiny paired up with the Bard. And Spawn, let's do some, I guess...
Don't do it.
Okay, I won't. We'll just leave it, shall we?
No,
because
so Twitch is really
strong.
Twitch is a great AoE team fighter that can come through there. So if they are able to put together a good team fight, Bard actually does have some synergy. You throw out that ultimate and then Twitch can just position himself around, line up people and just go to town, really mow people out. The other thing that it does is it creates pressure on the map. All of a sudden, as soon as Blade of the Ruined King's picked up, you have to worry about being submarined, and that's a very real threat that Swiffer, who's a split-pushing mid laner when he's at his best, will have to be able to pay attention to as the game goes on.
Well, we'll see whether it's going to be enough. And does sort of the fact that Twitch relies on stealth a whole lot to get around the map, does that mean that the Chiefs might be looking back towards something like a Twisted Fate?
Yeah, it certainly is a potential coming through here. Light it up. Make sure that you're not being flanked when the dragons start up. But instead, they just go with a really aggressive bottom lane. The old wife still coming in there. And going to be able to do a great job in shutting down the Twitch early. Probably going to have to look for a lane swap here, Sudden Fear.
Yeah, well, we'll see whether they do. Of course, the Chiefs more than happy to go into 2v2 with that one. But now, currently considering some different options. We'll see whether Christmas Trees has decided to go with anything else or whether it's going to be going straight back towards that Azir. Currently, Ari being considered, but very close in the alphabet to his Azir that he's been loving to pick up regardless of the results.
Yeah, what is it, like 3 away? But he is flicking between the two. Ari would make a lot of sense in the composition just because they have a little bit more element of pick. All of a sudden, you have the Tremor Sense to spot people out. Then you're able to get in there, get the pick that you need with the Twitch, with the Ari. But going towards something else that looks like it. But what is locked in is Aurelia. And I really like this aggressive pick by RoboSanta. He's a good top laner, has solid mechanics, and he should be able to, if it is a 1v1, really take it to Rumble in that lane.
Well, this is also RoboSanta, who's known for his Aurelia play, has been banned away from him in the past, and there was a solid period of time where RoboSanta was just Aurelia only. This guy solo queue every single game. So really look out to see whether he can make the plays there in the top lane. We'll see what the Chiefs go with as far as their answer here, and Xerath would be an odd one, especially for Swiffer.
Yeah, it certainly would. He does play Xerath, has played it a lot in the past. On the other side of the rift, we have to mention Victor has been locked in. He's got great burst potential. A short-range AD carry like Lucian always has to be careful around Victor. He's very good at flashing and getting that whole combo off in next to no time. Also has very good straight-line wave clear, and I nailed the sentence, which I'm happy about, because it's really hard to push into Victor because normally wave clear is generally AoE in a circular because he just cuts through the whole minion wave straight. It's before it even reaches the turret, so you have absolutely no time to set up around these structures.
Yeah, just no way to do it. The answer from Swiffer is going to be Azir, but I just want to touch on the fact that Christmas Trees did lock in the Victor. We spoke about Sudden Fear wanting to get onto these comfort champions. The last time that the Christmas Trees played Victor, he looked a lot more comfortable than the likes of Azir. And now Swiffer going to be taking that champion into him, and we'll see whether Christmas Trees is going to feel a little bit better this time around.
Yeah, and you know, something that does well against Azir is these poke champions, and there is a certain element of poke in Victor's kit, so he will be able to trade. He gets in and out of trades very efficiently with the Q as well, the additional movement speed that you get from that augment, so may be able to take it to Swiffer in this lane. The danger is that we saw Swiffer's Azir last week, and he had some not great moments, but his good moments were absolutely fantastic. That team fight in the middle lane, when you heard the comms, it was like complete silence, and they were like, yep, that'll do. Like, you just serve 4 people up to us and we'll kill them.
Yeah, I think the reaction was nice, nice, nice from everyone, but you can go back. We, of course, did catch the sounds of the game for that one. Was super exciting. One of my personal favorites of those particular segments. But look, having him back on the Azir, of course, went 7-1-4, like you mentioned in the last game. hasn't necessarily been a Swiffer champion. Now right into that champion pool, this guy seems to be able to play everything there apart from Yasuo.
Yeah, well, when they went over to IWCI, Swiffer hated playing against the Azir European players, and he was very vocal about it on Twitter. In fact, it featured in a lot of their bans against those teams, the Brazilians and the Turkish lineup. So something that he came back, put a lot of time into, plays a heck of a lot of it in solo queue, and now confident to bring it out. Swiffer is one of these legacy in the terms of being around for a very long time, and he has to put manpower into getting these champions skilled up. But Azir seems to be something that he's very comfortable with now.
Yeah, certainly on the train as far as that Shurima champion. I like the fact that he hovered the Xerath beforehand. You know, make sure that we're addressing all of Shurima just at this stage. And we are going to have a look. These are the lineups, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of mid-game power plus the Azir and a little bit of us hanging out.
Yeah, and a little bit of my face doing weird stuff. Thank you very much in there. And we'll see whether the lineups can go head-to-head with each other and try and take it out. You see the Chiefs down the bottom lane, they have a little bit more of a scaling composition in the top side of the map. Sudden Fear going to try and hit that mid-game.
Yeah, true. And is that exactly where they're powerful? Because we haven't seen necessarily that much of Twitch, but he is a fantastic late game carry, has a whole lot of AoE damage in his arsenal. And look, is that going to be enough, coupled with the likes of Aurelia, who also scales very well?
Yeah, so it should be able to get them to a point in the mid game where they have to start generating these picks. And really, all they're trying to do is stay a little bit ahead of their counterparts, with the exception of Twitch. That's a get out of the free card. If it does go super late, should be still impactful.
Well, we'll see whether it is going to be. Of course, Lucian in his own right going to be very, very strong, but it's all about these mid-game team fights that are going to be really, really frightening, because if Swiffer manages to get his soldiers in the right positions, lands the Qs for the slow, and then the equalizer's in a great spot, not to mention Ejin with all that CC, there is a lot of ways for the Chiefs to go to work around that dragon.
Yeah, and you've just hit the nail on the head. It's about zone control. Every single ability that you just listed creates an area of the map that Sudden Fear can't easily enter without taking damage. So it's about getting time to set up for the Chiefs, making sure it's around meaningful objectives like the dragon, like the Baron. They have fairly good turret pushing. They can force them off with the equalizer as well as the Gragas Barrel to be able to set up these sieges. But on the other side of the rift, if one mistake happens, so like that's a high execution, you need to get lots of things right for the Chiefs, which they do consistently, but realistically, they have players that catch people out of position really easily, Victor being one of them, Rek'Sai being another, and the fact that they always have that calling card of having Twitch nearby in stealth to be able to make a team fight unfair advantage.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to mention is when you're up against a team that's so reliant on gaining control of an area, what better to have on your side than a magical journey? You can just skirt around the side, go through the walls, and I know you're snickering at the fact that, look, I just love magical journeys, but still, it's going to be very, very useful for Sudden Fear to be able to get around the Chiefs and maybe flank them out.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, it creates pretty good gank paths early on in the game, and we keep mentioning that that's when they need to get their lane, so it will get Rek'Sai into some good positions, you would think as well. The bind is what really sets Bard apart right now. Like, you can hit the impactful parts of his kit, but in 5v5 team fights, it's just so easy to nail two people and tether them together. And we've already seen one great Bard game out of Dew today, being able to set a lot of the team fights up for his team. Think we might be in show for another one, because as you said, this is going to be a lot of clumped up team fights.
Yeah, and of course, Patu as well is this player that we've seen do some incredibly flashy things. Hasn't been able to necessarily net his team the wins just yet. But look, if they're going to throw out a blue shell, this is definitely the game to do it. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to get you back over to the caster desk with Pastry Time and Rusty and get into this game.
Thank you once again, Atlas and Spawn, for your great analysis. My name is Julian Page-Shamkar. Joining with me for the last time this evening is Zach Rusty Pie. It's been a great day or evening here of the OPL, and it's our last game here. The 6-0 team versus the unfortunate 0-6 team. The Chiefs want to stay undefeated in Sudden Fear. What a way to get their first win this would be.
This is our last game. And what would tonight be? This night of upsets and surprises in the OPL without Sudden Fear taking a game away from the Chiefs. The Miracle 4-0 2.0 comeback almost of the second split. Will Chiefs be able to remain undefeated after this game, though?
Well, you have to think that after last split, probably maybe even hungrier for the undefeated season than they were, but it is not easy. Let me tell you, they looked good. They almost got there, I think, to 12-0, and then finally everything fell off the bus. But, of course, we've had a great day. Well, hopefully you guys have had as well, so we'd love to get your thoughts on the match. Go out on Twitter. If you haven't been using it, please use the hashtag #IamOPL.
Yeah, everything you could want is going to be on that hashtag. Everyone else with the same opinions or mixed opinions to you. But let's get back to the game for a little bit here. We've got what we saw from Sudden Fear. Spawn telling us a mid-game comp base team with picks up against the Chiefs, who have the chance to outscale them, but it's a very high execution.
They do indeed, and Sudden Fear, if they can get ahead early and really start snowballing the game, that might be what they need to pick up this win against very strong opposition. But the Chiefs, they've been in this situation many times before. We'll see if they can get it done again. As Shiny and Radier going to have a bit of a 1v1 to start things off. Trinket Wards will battle, and Shiny just not quite getting the better end of that trade.
Well, what you can take from that is that Raider actually won the ward battle based off how deep the ward goes. So it's quite funny to see that always seems to happen is that they fight each other, but the deeper ward is the moral victor.
And you can see Sudden Fear moving the wards between there as well. Spooks actually might have found a few new friends in his jungle, gets a slowdown there onto Christmas Trees, the actual victor there in this game. But again, just some wards going down. Sudden Fear of big coverage of the entire red side of the map. So if they're spotting for that lane swap, they do have the deep vision.
Yeah, they grouped up early. They placed down that standard anti-lane swap style warding. And Swiper already in lane, but Raider actually having attempts at taking the wards down is going to make it quite glaringly obvious here for the side of Sudden Fear that Chiefs are not going to be lane swapping.
No, and it seems like Swiper, I mean, it's not the best matchup perhaps there against Irelia, but he's generally pretty happy to take his 1v1s. Chiefs in general are a team that, while they can lane swap, do prefer to trade on their strong laning power.
It is an interesting matchup in the top lane. It's more of a skill matchup than an unfavorable one in either direction. If Robo Santa can put down some strong early pressure, then Swiper will start to struggle here on this rumble, and Irelia can start to snowball quite heavily from that. But in saying that, if it goes even, you get around that level 6 mark, Swiper has an impact.
And we've got those high pressure junglers as well, so have to keep an eye out on how this works out, as we do have 2v2 on the bottom side of the map. We're going to have standard lanes break out here as both junglers also starting on the same side of the map.
This may be a personal thing, but I'm not a big fan of having a Twitch in the 2v2 matchup. Lucian just seems to do everything that... Well, there's actually nothing that the Twitch really can do against the poke of a Lucian. I mean, it's difficult for him to stay in this lane. You can see already the trade is somewhat even, but they, I don't know. We'll see how it pans out.
I mean, they might be looking for an all-in. Both sides, I think, got some extra experience as Bomi getting low on his jungle, but he'll be okay as he smites his red buff down. As you can see him, they're nice and safe in the jungle. Not too low at all. And again, level 2 actually hit for Shiny. Did get a bit of a lead there. But Raider and Ejim going to hit 2, and all of a sudden, we're back to square one.
Yeah, the Flay and the hook combo is enough to take Shiny down at any stage, especially with Lucian having that E and Q leveled up here. Shiny actually going for the Toxic Waste he's going to throw down to safely sit back, not going for the invisibility.
No, not quite yet. I mean, a little too cheesy perhaps there. Maybe wants a few more combat-ready stats, I say in air quotes.
That does give 2 stacks on his passive.
It does, yes. So it's not bad as long as we hit the skill shot. Not too tricky, though. Pink Bomi, on the other hand, going to clear out the Scuttle Crab, might be looking for a bottom lane gank.
Yeah, maybe. Pink Bomi looking to just control the Scuttle Crabs mostly. There's the chance of a bottom gank. He's level 3. He's going to be spotted, though.
Going in for it, but yes, like you said, there is vision in the area. Radier actually force a flash. Ejim not so lucky. Does get ignited down, contaminates through, and Bomi's going to get first blood.
Pink Bomi getting the first blood is a big factor for this Sudden Fear lineup. You'd want it onto Shiny on the Twitch, but it takes a while for him to ramp up. So getting the kill onto that early pressure jungler might mean more high impact ganks across the map this early in the game. Could spell a very good start here for Sudden Fear.
It could, and Rady used both his summoners as well. Ejim didn't use any, but still died there. So the Chiefs, an early blow there. This is what Sudden Fear need to do to get things rolling, although Spooks is now looking in the top lane.
Spooks is poking his head around. Robo-Santa's starting to feel like he needs to respect it. The minion stack is massive. I mean, Robo-Santa realistically shouldn't even be near the lane in a 1v1, so kind of a little bit of a time waste there from Spooks, but nothing major from it. Just looking around for a game.
Sort of hanging out. Actually might look for the blue buff. Does see it. It's up. He's got his smite. We could have a battle. Pink Bomi, though, able to get it as Spooks chasing in, but Bomi's going to tunnel away to safety.
The ward, the bush control is the real victor in that case right there, as a Pink Bomi can quite comfortably smite away that blue buff. Spooks looking to be aggressive, of course, had that pressure in the top lane and tried to make it translate to something, knowing the Rek'Sai was in fact ganking bottom not too long ago. Instead, he's going to take the Wolfies.
Wolf, funny battle hit. Bomi going to come in. Doesn't get it, though. Spooks actually gets the camp. The Wolf Spirit chasing in, but Bomi's damage not bad in the trade. Spooks will get a bit of a victory there, taking out a camp, but again, just small things here in the early game.
Yeah, Rek'Sai's damage not too bad, given that he went straight in aggressively onto the Gragas, but of course, that Wisp spotting him, Spooks quite comfortable to take the trade. He got the Wolf anyway, so he is in a very good position.
Yeah, clearing things out. We actually had an early back for Bomi has his Stalker's Blade already completed for that Chilling Smite. Spooks yet to go back. We've seen a bit of this from Gragas' Shelby actually last game. Really prone to just hard farm out the first clear of the jungle.
Yeah, get through that first clear, get your big items, and the gank presence that you have is quite substantially higher just because you're always going to be of a high health when you take a jungle camp next. There's a lot of pressure. EJ making his way from mid, but no.
Yeah, found a Rek'Sai instead. Wanted to try and help out Swiffer there. Has had a fine start to his lane. Bomi though, gonna take away the ward. EJ will not slay the pink ward this time around. And Rady being pressured back as well. Good roam from EJ, but nothing quite comes of it. Couldn't even get the pink ward, Rusty.
No, not able to get that ward. Instead has to retreat back towards his lane. As Swiffer is going to be able to pick that one up, and why not get the extra gold onto your mid lane?
Yeah, good point there. Gets an extra CS. I guess there as Swiffer returns to his lane down the bottom side as well. Shiny, great
Not
W
bad.
there for a good bit of poke.
And you know what I like about this lane is the fact that there is a Bard for the side of Sudden Fear. The sustain advantage is actually quite heavily in favor of Sudden Fear, almost just solely because of having those shrines that you can put down.
I only just realized as well, it's maybe made it even worse. Oh my god, that bind was sick. Radier gonna get poked out here.
That was nice. Cop that one. Patu is always on point with these skill shots. Showing it again there as Spooks is just saying hello and he's going to casually walk his way through towards the other side of the map.
Robo Center in top side, trying to get on top of Swiper, but Ultimate's there ready for both of them. Swiper maybe just going to push out the lane and go back, but what I did want to point out on the bottom side was Egypt actually started coin here, which makes sense. It's been a much more popular item. Not the same sustain as a Relic Shield, though.
Yes, well picked up on that. I was referring mostly to the fact that Bard and Twitch had sustain because that Ejim and Lucian don't have that Relic Shield to actually give any sustain back. So it is solely on the lifesteal of the Lucian, who has opted into that pickaxe. So you can see, itemization-wise and 2v2-wise, being able to get to this stage in the bot lane is doing quite big things for Sudden Fear. Nice
slow there as well from Patu again. Relatively on point with the skill shots. Lanterns here again, though. That's a very easy signal of aggression. Gets in, no! Flashes out of the hook there despite being invisible. Spotted by Spooks, but they'll trade a bit of damage back.
Yeah, only a bit of damage from all of that. The pressure from Spooks is starting to be evident. The Thresh Lantern ganks are very dangerous, and you need to respect that here from the side of Sudden Fear. Twitch can't just turn invisible anymore. It takes way too long.
Yeah, I mean, ambush cooldown's a little long. Ejim going to go back in there. Shiny going to be the target. Great find there by Patu. Teleport down as well. Radiant wants it, but he's going to get forced to take the Lantern out. Robo Santa now going to dive back in. The flay back might keep him safe. Flash double bind though for Patu. Christmas Trees puts down the ulti and gets a kill.
Christmas Trees made it all the way downtown, so he needed to get some kind of semblance of a result in there. Instead gets the kill. A nice teleport immediately from Robo Santa. They find themselves with the first 2 kills of the game and potentially a dragon.
And Patu, these skill shots, we talked about it. If the thresh hook wasn't bad enough, how about a hook that can maybe get 2 people?
Yeah, exactly. He has been hitting all of these so far. Ridiculous. The bindings on the priority targets. Getting Raider as he tries to last hit even under the tower just to make things worse for him. They do get the dragon here. Patu, hats off.
Yeah, indeed. And this is a start that Sudden Fear wanted. 1,000 gold ahead, 2 kills up, have the dragon. This is the sort of thing where Sudden Fear can look at this and say, okay, we can maybe snowball this lead. The Chiefs, they're a great team. They're great in team fights especially, so Sudden Fear have a lot more work to do from this point, but they probably couldn't have asked for a better start to this game.
No, you're right. It is not really the easy part out of the way, or the easy part is out of the way, sorry. They've got a lot of uphill battle to strive through here at the moment if they want to stay ahead in this game. Only 1,000 doesn't really give you anything at all, so they need to utilize this 1,000 gold lead, get the Twitch to have some mid-game ganks, and they are a very potent pick comp with that Twitch invisibility and mid-game strength out of Sudden Fear. If they can utilize just being ahead and control some vision, maybe just find a cheeky pick, they'll find themselves in a very good position.
Yeah, Rek'Sai Twitch actually kind of cool. So is that what the Sudden Fear are looking for, or is that the mid-game that they want to sort of craft?
Well, what I like the most is not even just the Rek'Sai Twitch, it's the fact that they've got Victor Twitch. So if they gank mid, ever, Victor can blow anyone up, let alone with a Twitch.
Although Robo Santa 1v1, Swiper going in, flashes forward, auto's overheated, and that's a 1v1 kill.
That's a convincing 1v1 kill right there for Swiper. Easily taking out his opponent. They're forcing the flash of Robo Santa off the equalizer. Just using the flash of his own with that empowered auto attack, finds an easy 1v1.
Transition to the mid lane might give the Chiefs an early turret to open up some space. Christmas Trees going to get ulti back? Yes, does as Radiant calls him to death. Nice ult from Swiffer to secure it, and they're going to get the turret as well.
And suddenly that gold lead does no longer exist. In fact, it's going to be slightly in favor of the Chiefs as they pick up that mid turret and replace it with one of their own. And Swiper, meanwhile, because of the 1v1, has all of the pressure in the world in top lane.
That's a massive amount of damage to that turret here. So the Chiefs starting to answer back from that early pressure and get some things done of their own. 500 gold now in the lead. Swiffer with his blue buff going to go back and we'll have the Morellonomicon completed nice and shortly.
Swiffer's going to stop you.
Yeah, actually it's going to annoy Partu. Maybe even has to be careful as his damage not bad as Swiper. Getting ganked in the top side, but just runs away. 2
levels ahead of his opponent here, Swiper. So Robo Center can't really afford to make a fight at the moment. Needs to respect just the raw difference in damage from items. Having to sit there and kind of take it at the moment. The tower very low, and Swiffer has found himself with a sizable CS advantage.
Yeah, 98 to 69, so 30 up basically there for Swiffer, as he's soon to crack 100 minions here in this game. I mean, Sudden Fear, they've got some good things going on. Shiny's doing nicely. He's got 2 assists, maybe wish there were kills here as Hook goes in for Ejim. I guess just maybe zoning them away.
But the shining light of this game at the moment is that bot lane Shiny and Partu, always having the highest kill participation of the Sudden Fear lineup. And even now in this game, both being 0-0 and 2, if they can get that Twitch unlocked completely with the first tower taken down in the bot lane, then you'll see this Sudden Fear lineup really have the potential to open up.
And we talked about maybe the mid-game ambush picks here as well from Twitch. What is Shiny looking for to sort of get that mid-game going?
He just needs to first and foremost get control of the bottom lane, and that will come something like this.
Partu lining it up. Biden goes wide though. Good patience from the Chiefs to make sure they did not get hooked up again. They sort of saw what happened last time. Didn't want it to go through once more.
No, it's a very dangerous predicament to be in if the Bard hits that binding on top of you and locks you down. Rek'Sai very close and nearby, waiting in the wings to find his opportunities. There it is.
Black Body Slam, ulti's good. Swiffer rides in. Ulti's great. And the damage is enough. Didn't even need the displacement as Swiffer gets a kill.
Completely taking down his opponent here. Not a 1v2, but just the pressure that's coming out from Spooks. It's bad enough being in the 1v1 at the moment with Swiffer, but when Spooks comes in and ganks you like that so effectively, not only are you stuck behind your turret at the moment, you're not even safe there.
Yeah, Burmy forced away there as well. That means Swiffer and Ejim can team up to do damage to this tier 2 mid turret. A few rises there on the structure, and it's chunked out. That's about half its health gone already.
Yeah, you're right. The pressure that was out early, by the way, from the Sudden Fear lineup was exactly what it needed to be. They just needed to not let it turn around too much. And we've seen solo kills in the top lane, Spooks being so relevant everywhere, making these ganks work back in favor of the mid lane. Sudden Fear need to rethink what they're doing right now. If they prolong this laning phase, as they are at the moment, then it starts to get really rough for them because Spooks can keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, and Spooks has been having, not just this game, but honestly his last few games. We heard it out there before. He's just been fantastic for the Chiefs so far, and that's not to undersell anyone else, but his particular play in the jungle has just been stellar.
When you have an 18.5 KDA, you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
That is for certain. Spooks always going massive, and you can see Partu and Bomi working their way around here, but Spotted Bolt
maybe able to get the kill here. Swiper, I think, entertaining the idea. Assume he knows based on the vision that's there. It's Shiny.
No.
Oh, they can see him there. The lens is good. Goodbye, Shiny.
See you, mate. He had no hope of getting out of that alive just because Gragas having that buff available, spotting him out invisible. Smart, very smart decisions here from the Chiefs, waiting until they had that buff available. And freely picking up that kill.
I'm trying to think, was that
Well,
Raptor Sense?
yeah.
That's hilarious. I thought it was an Oracle Zone, but they didn't have one yet. He's level 8.
No, it was Raptor.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know it saw invisible units. Today I learned Rusty.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. Shiny, despite his Blade of the Ruined King, would go down there in that gank. Turret falls there as well for the Chiefs. And we've got Dragon back up in 10 seconds. The Chiefs starting to apply a bit more pressure.
Yeah, you can see they're really starting to put that pressure down now. Chiefs just, they find an inch, they take a mile. They're that kind of team. And at the moment, the gold lead that was 1,000 in favor of Sudden Fear, now 2,000 in the opposite direction. Chiefs finding that lead. We'll see if they can continue to hold that lead and turn it into an even bigger one, or if Sudden Fear can actually utilize that mid-game strength.
Starting up the Dragon now as well. Taking a little bit too much damage potentially, but will now move in. Cooper has his ult. It's going to be tricky. Dragon goes down and Sudden Fear. Just don't look for anything here. But ulti hits 2. Spooks and ready. There's a good target. Bomi gets in for the Umbaro, but the flashes are out. Ulti there to disengage as well. And RoboSanta's come in, gets hooked immediately though as Pink Bomey's going to smite away the blue. And the Chiefs get funky and make sure nobody else does.
I mean, after all of that, it was a blue buff for a dragon, so I'm not really sure that it was a favorable decision here from the side of Sudden Fear. Looking to rotate towards the mid lane, but the Chiefs already here.
Oh, Christmas Trees gets nailed by Ejin. That's a force flash.
Straight away, a flash for no particular reason, because the magical journey is just so enticing here.
It is.
They go for the turrets still, but there's already the trade in the top lane before they even
Swiper's
try.
got TP. They have to be so careful. There's a ward behind them there as well. Hook lands on the Shiny. Ulti there by Swiffer. Teleport now coming through for Rumble and Swiper. He will clean house. Insane equalizer. Locks down 2 almost as he gets a kill. He's going to get on Silent Series back ready with his heat. Does not have another kill, but Chiefs are playing so well.
These supports are sick. E-Team hitting 2 great death sentences in a row, locking down Christmas Trees and forcing a flash. Then getting Shiny, I believe it was, in an even worse position under the turret. You can see followed up by Swiffer with that Emperor's Divide, knocking him so far under the turret that there was no point in him even using a summoner spell. He goes down. Swiper comes in with that equalizer, and they managed to pick up, I think, a Scuttlebug in total from that, but they just completely whitewashed.
And the blue buff, they got that as well, and the couple kills. So Chiefs, I think even protected their mid turret. Yeah, it's still standing as well.
And they got the top turret.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it. The Chiefs, they get a pick and they take a mile. That's pretty much what's been happening all game long. And it's to the tune of a 4,000 gold lead and some strong items coming through. Swiper has already finished that Zhonya's.
Yeah, accelerating his build for a Zhonya's. Not going for that Haunting Guys just yet as Shiny and Radiant.
Yeah, going for a battle. Partu going to make it uneven. Radiant getting low. Crits him for the kill. Partu gets the trade. But the crit lord himself is back.
The Raider crit. What can we say about that? I thought Shiny was going to win that, to be honest with you. And the Raider just turns it around so expertly and confidently, I should say, with that Infinity Edge, managing to pick up the crit with the dash. Oh, come on, man. It's not fair.
Look, never get into a fight with Raider when crit is on the line. He just does so much work with that Infinity Edge, which he now does have. Going to get a bit of a boost there as well, as he's got his Berserker Greaves and that dagger moving towards either a Static Shiv or a PD, depending on what he wants. RoboSanta might get chased away there as well, but Spook's just coming up for a visit.
Yeah, you can see Shiny actually very close to being able to 1v1 Raider right there. It kind of shows him that he had that opening, and it's still somewhat there, but the window is closing as Boney.
Yep, coming in now, 2v1 there for Swiper. Ulti's good, does put it down. Partu's here as well. The Sonya's actually going to buy him a bit more time, but the binding's there, and RoboSanta claims the kill.
And they just make a free pick, both recalling though, the same time Spooks, and no, they should be able to get out.
One safe. Pink Bomey stays actually.
What?
Now recalls.
Okay, indecision there. I think RoboSanta was like, well, there's no reason I'm actually staying. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still staying.
He wants something.
Yeah, no, he's not recalling.
Yeah, Pink Bomey's hanging out.
G'day.
Takes a CS, I guess. Says hello. Swiffer sets up another Sun turret there in the mid lane, and they're going to keep pushing.
Yeah, they're looking to just control around their strengths at the moment, get that easy hook, and the pick that comes out of this Chiefs lineup. You can see the damage that Swiffer's putting down onto Shiny here. And there's just so much kill threat from nearly every single member of the
Spook's
Chiefs.
in the top side now as well. Raiders joined in for Bomey. Another crit gives Raider his 4th kill of the game. And the Chiefs answering that pick back.
Raider noticeably getting all of these kills. Is also the one with the most kills in the OPL, as Shiny doesn't know what health is anymore.
I mean, they're trying to fight the Sun turret. Swiffer's going to ride in. Shiny's forced to flash. Ulti keeps Santa and Partu out. Lantern's good. Keeps him safe. Bard ulti though. The hook still goes through. But Swiper's here now as well. Equalizer's down. 2 kills already, but Spook swoops in. He's going to try and shred them down. Actually, a double there for Victor. RoboSanta going to get cold though by Lucian. Eats the binding as Partu escapes. And it's a 3-for-2 win for Sudden Fear.
Sudden Fear end up coming out ahead of that marginally. They managed to catch Swiffer, who was hyper-aggressive out of position there. The Bard Tempered Fate was exactly what it needed to be. Partu hitting those skill shots, but Chiefs managing to turn it around again. Look at him.
Crit tier back in once again. 6-2-3. The Slayer has returned. We've talked about Raider's recent form. Leading kills currently in the OPL. Slayer is truly back.
Oh, look, this is a replay. You see Swiffer getting over-aggressive here, having to use the ultimate. Takes the Lantern. Looks like they're getting the safety. Take everything back. The hook somehow hitting Flight. Instantly destroyed. Swiper even going down at the end of this. And the coolest part of this entire thing is watch this culling. Every single bullet except the last one's hit.
Yeah.
He kited that along the wall so well.
Really strong stuff there. I mean, this is not Radia's first time playing Lucian, that's for sure. And the scoreline reflects that as well. You can see why Victor's so good in that last exchange. That ultimate did an absurd amount of damage.
And this is Sudden Fear's team comp, and we could see them getting 3 kills. Imagine if there was more members of the Chiefs in that spot. Everyone was dead. Victor can blow up literally anyone in the map once he gets ramped up with items. He has that Abyssal Scepter, upgraded the Hex Core. He's big, but...
Shiny trying, Radiant goes in again! So many crits! What is this? Radiant just gets a kill, his 7th of the game.
Go back in.
He is going, he knows he can crit more. Patu in trouble, crit lands in, no more crits needed. Double kill there for Radiant.
Man, it's just raw damage, it's not all crits,
No,
let's be reasonable here. Radiant going massive.
Oh, Ejim flashing forward, Radiant wants it again. Bomey's forced to flash, Colling's good. Bomey gonna eat it all, and Radiant gets another kill.
You can tell, we've hyped Raider up multiple times. This is his split right now. The massive carry of this Chiefs lineup. Everyone else playing to his strengths at the moment. It's unbelievable how good he is.
And look, oh, cool glance for Ejim. Christmas trees knocked back, played into the box. Spooks is in there, body slam. Who wants the kill? It's up for, no, it's not up for grabs. Christmas trees comes in with the ulti. The damage is good. Robo Santa dives in, takes out Lucian, double onto us here. But Swiper's come down. Shiny is in so much trouble. Does go down there as Swiper pops the Zonias to reheat. Now goes back in onto Robo Santa. Maybe a little too much here. Damage is good, but Robo gets a triple.
They're finding the kills here, Sudden Fear. We've got 6 and 2 on the Aurelia, and maybe even Spooks.
Spooks needs his ulti, doesn't have it, gets bound to the wall. And that damage not quite there between the jungle and support, but Spooks still going to go down. Rek'Sai, no, might be enough. Shoots the binding, does go down to Bard.
The Meeps.
Meat power.
They managed to pick up the kill. So many members. Chiefs getting destroyed right there on the back of what was a great push from them. Robo Santa, 6, 2, and 3. This guy has his Trinity Force ready. He is ramping up massively, managing to pick up that double kill on the back. They've got the Aegis here from a Pink Bomey. And this team comp of Sudden Fear, they can win fights right now if they continue to do it what they're doing.
Well, maybe not this. No, actually, Gagey gets... No, that is Robo Santa getting caught. Patu going to try and ride out. Magical Journey finds in Patu. Going to get shot to the back, and Swiffer will collect the kill. That dragon might have been a step too far.
Suddenly turning it around again. The Chiefs know when to capitalize. The dragon a little bit over-adventurous there. Now the 6-2, Aurelia is 6 and 3, but this might be the throw pit.
I mean, they're going to the Baron pit. Sudden Fear posturing towards the dragon. Chiefs will start it. They feel confident. They've got Swiper's ulti.
The ward coverage is well and truly in favor of the Chiefs. It's going to be very risky for the side of Sudden Fear to even stop this. It's super low.
Oh, it goes down. Good smite from Spook. Swiffer dives back in onto Shiny, who eats the equalizer. Goes down there to Swiper as he dives in onto Christmas trees. Mini Sun into the wall. Lantern over the top. Rides in as Radiant gets his 11th kill.
And just a commanding decision on the back of an over-aggressive dragon. Straight away pick up the kills, go for the Baron. Chiefs find themselves massively ahead out of nowhere again.
Yeah, and they're going to get the dragon as well by the looks of things. 8,000 gold ahead as Rek'Sai is entertaining his steal. But we talked about Raid here, 11, 3, and 6 already. Bomey dives in, does not get it. We'll give Raid in. No, it's Swiper. Another kill instead. 2 for 1 now on Dragon. Spooks going in, finds Robo. No ulti's up just yet, but they'll keep diving through. Bard ulti is enough to disengage. Robo adventurous there with the pink ward.
Come on, you can't get the ward.
Played so just to immediate instead. And again, as we... I was going to say slow it down. Nice binding hitbox. Get Spooks into the torch there. Magical Journey, Patu wants in.
What are you doing?
Too deep. Does go through. Swiffer though with the damage takes him out. Robo's diving in. Swiffer just going to kite away. Robo now maybe the one in trouble. Sun Turret's good. Spooks gets the kill.
Oh, man.
Swiper gets stunned by the gravity field. Shiny now attacked by Spooks. Swiffer wants to dive in there. Does get him. It's just kill after kill at this point.
That just became a massacre out of nowhere. A Magical Journey is just so tempting to take as they're trying to dive again.
Oh, Ejim nails Christmas trees with the hook. Double play onto Bomey there as well. Great equalizer as they dive in. Ejim will dive, but everyone else on Sudden Fear will as a result. And Radiant casually by himself.
And you can see the beeping health bars of the Chiefs members playing around it perfectly. One at a time, the Sudden Fear lineup try their luck at getting a kill. Patsu, don't even try, please. The rest of your team already has.
Yep, Inhibitor goes down in the bottom side. Inhibitor turret gets broken in the mid there as well. The Chiefs gonna swoop in for a nice double here as the base of Sudden Fear is left in tatters. Robo Santa might be the next victim. Shiny's ready.
They can still kill people. It's just so difficult if they're not grouped up at the moment. So there's an opportunity for them to chase this down.
No ultis just yet here. It's just Lucian actually that has his Robo Santa. Gonna eat some damage. Bomey's off to round the back. They want Radiant. They're gonna dive in on top of him. Swiper gonna go down. Radiant pops his heel. Spooks gets a double body slam. Culling out now as well. Can't quite finish it. Robo dives in. Swiffer with the ulti dashes to safety. Spooks is low, but Robo's dead. Spooks gets healed there, I believe, and is just safe for now. Egypt lines up a nice double play. Gets stunned though by an ulti. Gonna have to kite around it, and Radiant, he's a little too low. Egypt's gonna die. Crazy game so far, 40+ kills already.
There's just action everywhere. I have no idea who's trying to throw harder at this stage. They just keep going in, and then they come back, and then they die, and they go in again. This time, Sudden Fear are the ones fighting the kills. They managed to pick up Swiper, Egypt. Ridiculous. What is happening?
Well, a turret actually might be what really happens here. Sudden Fear gonna clean up their first of the game. Jeez. Did not realize that one, but a good one to get there as they take the outer mid.
They are on the board for turrets. 2 inhibitors down here for Sudden Fear as we take a step back after all of that action. And, I mean, it's very heavily in favor of the Chiefs right now. You can see an 11,000 gold lead all in all, and Radiant 12-3.
Yeah, Radiant is so far ahead. He almost has a last whisper. Oh my god, that gold lead.
Gross.
That is gross. 5,500 gold up.
The difference is how much Bard has had this entire game, basically.
Yes. In a roundabout way, yes. Radiant is level 16 as well. Highest level on the map by the looks of things. Spooks coming in, wants some more. Ulti goes back, it's good. Gravity feels better. Zones him out.
The wall being the MVP right there, thankfully saving Christmas trees from being knocked into the side here as Sudden Fear have that opportunity with 2 inhibs down. I guess they can push the waves out, reset, try their best to get this 5v5. If it goes their way, we've seen them able to get kills here, 16 to 27. They can do it.
Oh, they can, but it's a lot to try and defend here as the Chiefs continuing to barrage down the top lane. It's like tier 2 turret's dead, inhibitor turret's not long for this world. Part 2 ulti. Oh, another mid body slam, Gragas.
He looks so majestic.
He does.
That was glorious.
Egypt lining up for a hook as well. Chiefs will be patient and wait for their minion waves.
Yeah, all the Chiefs have to do right now is a slow closeout. 2 inhibitors down, middle and bottom. They can just wait for the super minions to either take down the Nexus turrets themselves, as we can see red dots hitting it, or they can just try and push in and close out with a fight.
Just being patient is all they need to do. Hook almost lands there. Double bind onto Minion, and Egypt will go in as well. Bomey takes so much poker from Radiant. He's just doing too much damage at this particular point in the game. Swiper also gets found. That was a funky one as well. They're going to dive back in. Spooks finds Christmas trees. There's the kill coming through. Robo Santa dives onto Swiper, but the Zombies is good. He dodges the Transcendent Blade, but they're still going to go through. Ulti there for Swiffer, keeps them out, and the Chiefs don't lose too much more. Swiper is dead. Bomey's going to look to die as well. Part 2 also low. Radiant diving in. Wants to clean up everything. Shiny is dead as Radiant gets a double. Bomey might make it 3. But instead, the Chiefs are going to try and end the game.
The tunnel system saving a Pink Bomey there, but from the looks of it, they've got enough minions to back them up. Robo Santa and a Pink Bomey is still here. They might be able to attempt to stop this, but 4 members of the Chiefs look to be able to overrun.
Yeah, 3rd inhib goes down as well. Nexus turrets are now in tatters. Nexus itself about to get shattered. Robo gets zoned out by Spooks. Radiant just wants to finish the game. Maybe nope, I tell a lie. He wants more kills. Robo Santa now going to dive back in, but Radiant, what? So much damage. That is gifting him kills at this stage. Lucian gets a double to close things out. A teleball back from Swiper as Radiant. Stop kill chasing, buddy.
Guys.
Get on the Nexus.
Come on.
Shiny wants maybe one last one, but it's not going to come. The Nexus falls down. Radiant goes absolutely titanic. And the Chiefs continue their undefeated run.
That was a big game. That was just a massacre. There's just kills left, right, and center. But the Chiefs every time there was a kill, they ended up making an objective out of it. Something of substance came from those kills, whereas Sudden Fear were capitalizing on positional errors and mistakes of the Chiefs. They weren't able to translate it into anything, only getting one tower that whole game.
Yeah, and you can see the talent there from Sudden Fear as far as their individual play skill goes. They can hang with the Chiefs as far as landing and mechanics and like 1v1s and that stuff go, but it is the big team and the objective control that really separates them.
Yeah, we had this in the interview with Carbon as well. The fact that the newer teams are most dangerous around that laning phase, and we definitely saw that again from this Sudden Fear roster. They were very scary around laning phase. It's just didn't really happen for them the later the game went.
They couldn't get it done, and the Chiefs picked themselves up another win to continue 7-0 through split 2 of the OPL. We're done for the evening now, so you are going to get a bit more from the boys outside there in the war, and we'll go one last time for tonight to Atlas and Spawn.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. And the Chiefs come out with yet another dominating victory, as you just heard Pastry Time stating yet again. And man, this team's definitely looking like they're on form at the moment. But, you know, Sudden Fear, they got first blood.
Yeah, and they actually put on a pretty good impressive in the gank in the bottom lane, able to get ahead a little bit, just weren't able to piece together much of a mid game.
Yeah, weren't quite able to do that. But with that, let's have a look at how the day went. That was, of course, our final game. And Direwolves picking up a win against Immunity, who didn't quite get to carry over their form from the previous couple of days, and Legacy taking that victory over Sin, and Carbon pretty happy about that on the desk.
Yeah, he certainly was. And then absolute upsetting Avant-Garde, able to come through with a thrilling victory with a great late game team comp, and as we just saw, Chiefs able to run away from Sudden Fear.
Yeah, run away from Sudden Fear. I guess RoboStander was definitely trying to chase them down all parts of the map. It didn't even matter. Trying to get through those Azir walls, making stuff happen. It was definitely an entertaining game.
Yeah, it certainly was. And if you want to check out any of the games, you want any stats or see the standings, head on over to that website, oce.lolesports.com. There's everything there.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. And that is going to bring us to the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. On behalf of myself, Spawn here, of course, Pastry Time, and Rusty there on the desk. Almost said Zach, a little bit unfortunate. And a massive thank you to Carbon, who came over from Legacy to share his thoughts. Of course, our whole production team. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday.